This video is the first in a series of videos designed for new faculty at Bellevue University who need to understand the Bellevue online learning environment provided by Blackboard. This video covers Blackboard from a strictly student perspective and will discuss Blackboard navigation, discussion board posting, submitting work for assignments and tests, and viewing Blackboard grades. If you would like to skip ahead to one of those sections, note the times given here and below. We will begin on the Blackboard homepage. Blackboard's homepage looks very similar for both students and faculty. Most Blackboard users go directly to the course they need to access in the My Courses module, but there are a few other things I want to point out on this homepage. The first is the Tools module. Note that students have a direct link here to look at their grades as well as specific other tools in Blackboard. Also take note of the Tech Support module and the BU Bruin module, which often contain valuable and timely information for all Blackboard users. You should also note that you can drag these modules into any order or configuration you wish by clicking and dragging from the menu headings. We're almost ready to look at a specific course, but I want to point out the other tabs in Blackboard first. The Courses tab, just like the Courses module, contains links to all the courses in which you are currently enrolled. The Content collection is a place where students and faculty can store files directly within Blackboard, but not in a specific course. The Community tab links to any Blackboard communities in which the user may be enrolled, and the Student Services tab provides links to many of the resources available for students at Bellevue University. Finally, the Tech Support tab provides links through which the student can reach the Bellevue University Service Desk, as well as helpful technical tools such as a browser checker and a minimum technical requirements list. Now we are going to go to a specific Blackboard course. By now you should have figured out that there are two ways to do this. You can either click on the Courses tab and select your course from there, or you can go directly from the My Courses module on the Blackboard homepage. Now we are within a sample Blackboard course, viewing that course as a student. You'll notice that the tabs across the top of the screen stay the same. You can always use those to navigate to another course or another area of Blackboard. We will now start our overview of Blackboard navigation in the upper left-hand corner of the course itself and move around clockwise. Here in the upper left-hand corner, we have a way to navigate directly from course to course in Blackboard. Use this drop-down menu to show all the courses in which you are enrolled and switch to a different course if you choose. Right next to the Course-to-Course tool is what Blackboard calls the breadcrumb chain. This area will always show the path through which you have traveled in Blackboard to arrive at your current location. Right now, we are on the Home Announcement screen, so that is all that shows in the breadcrumb chain. But if I click randomly into a new location, notice how the breadcrumb chain changes. I can also use individual links within the breadcrumb chain to return to a previous location. This brings us to the main course window. Simply put, the main course window is where you will read and do everything necessary for your course. What appears in this area is determined by what you click in the course menu on the left. Moving around to the course menu, you will notice a series of buttons or links on the left-hand side of your course. This is known as the course menu. Clicking on individual buttons or links will cause the content associated with that button to appear in the main course window. Notice how clicking on these buttons also affects the breadcrumbs chain at the top of your screen. Some of the content areas contained in these buttons will contain only a few items. Others will contain multiple folders, files, and links for you to explore. It is the job of the instructor to guide their students through the setup of their particular course, as each course will inevitably be set up differently to the instructor's preferences. As we are discussing the course menu, I also want to point out this small arrow button located between the course menu and the main course window. You can use this button to hide or reveal the course menu should you want to view or work on something in your course full screen. Finally, our clockwise navigation tour has taken us to the top of the course menu. Here, I can click on this arrow to minimize the course menu, and this one on the right to return to the home screen of this particular course. Notice that when I hover my mouse over a specific button, the function of that button eventually appears as a little pop-up. This is a tool you can use throughout Blackboard if you are unsure of what a specific button or link does. The course menu can also be viewed in several different formats. These formats are represented by these buttons across the top of the course menu. Most users choose to leave their course menu in the traditional list view, but you can change to folder view or a pop-up window if that works better for you. That covers our brief overview of navigation. Feel free to pause this video or go back if you need any of the information repeated. Now we're going to look at some specific tasks students may have to complete in a Blackboard course, beginning with discussion boards. Many instructors use discussion boards as their primary means of communication with students. Discussion boards are usually set up to be class-wide discussions on a specific topic set by the instructor. Usually, discussion boards are given their own button in the course menu. Students simply click the button to access the discussion board. As Blackboard explains to us, discussion boards are divided into what Blackboard calls forums. Forums are created by Blackboard instructors and can be either graded or non-graded. When a student clicks on the discussion board menu button, they see a list of all the discussion board forums currently available to them in their course, along with various stats that relate to those discussion boards. They can enter a specific forum in 3 different ways, either by clicking on the forum title, choosing Open from the forum title drop-down menu, or clicking on the number of unread posts, which will of course only show them the posts they haven't read yet for that forum. Now we are looking at a specific discussion board forum. Forums are divided down further into threads. Threads can be created by students or instructors, and they can be replied to by students or instructors. Just like the main discussion board showed a list of forums and their stats, each forum contains a list of threads and stats about each thread. From this screen, students again have several options. They can add a new thread, they can view their own posts, their grades and their stats so far. They can subscribe to the forum if their instructor has enabled subscriptions, which we do recommend instructors do. They can search the forum, or they can choose how posts in the forum are displayed. We'll come back and look specifically at the grading information button when we're discussing how students can view their grades. And instead of creating a new thread, we're going to reply to an existing one, though the process will be very similar for students that are starting a new thread. Students can view an individual thread by the same 3 processes they could view an individual forum: clicking the link, using the drop-down, or clicking on the number of unread posts. From here, they will most likely want to click the reply button to add their response to this thread. Note that it is the job of each instructor to inform students how they are to use the discussion board. Should they create a new thread or reply each time? How many replies are required a week? Should they quote original posts, etc.? Clicking reply takes us to a create post window, which looks very similar to the new thread window had we gone that route. The biggest thing to discuss here is the Blackboard text box editor. Both students and faculty will see the same text box editor used throughout Blackboard, so let's take a few minutes now to discover everything it can do. What you are looking at right now is a very basic version of the text box editor. For many discussion board posts, this basic version is all you need, though you can expand to a more comprehensive text box editor or return to this basic version by clicking on the arrow in the upper right-hand corner. The button right next to that one will take your text box editor to full screen. The rest of the top row of options should look very familiar to you if you have used any sort of word processing software. With these options, you can change text style, font, size, color, add bulleted or numbered lists, or check your spelling. Once you've added text to the text box, you will see the linking options become available as well. You can use these to add web links to your text. Should you want to add images, videos, emoticons, file attachments, change the justification or indent of your text, or do more complex tasks within the text box editor, you will need to switch on the more comprehensive view, again here in the upper right-hand corner. You can figure out the functionality of each of these buttons by hovering your mouse over the button and waiting for the button name to appear. As an instructor, if you are going to be requiring your students to use any of this advanced functionality in their work, be it in the discussion board or elsewhere, it is highly recommended that you provide them with some extra instruction on what tools they should use and how you would like them to use them. Whenever the student's post is completed, the user should click Submit to post their response to the discussion board. Hint, if a student posts Save Draft, they will see their work, but the instructor will not. If an instructor has turned on forced moderation for this particular forum, the student will see their work, but their classmates will not until the instructor has released that post for all class viewing. There are more tools and functionality available within the discussion board, but this video has covered the basic processes used most often by Bellevue instructors. Feel free to go back and review if you need more information. In our next video, we will take a look at some of the other kinds of work students are often required to complete in Blackboard. Because faculty have freedom in the way their courses are set up and executed, it is impossible to cover every option in these videos, but we will take a look at some of the basics, including using the Upload Assignment tool and the Quiz or Test tool.